Good afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you, for a little bit. I'm I'm right now. I'm only on the afternoon experiment channels. Right now, I am only on the afternoon experiment channels. So, got to get people here. Got to get people used to, looking for me everywhere. There's a second reason why I'm only on these channels. But anyway, welcome to the show. Terry Anderson. Good afternoon. As it stands right now, there's only like 3 people in the room. And I want to talk about a couple of things. I definitely got to talk about just a little bit, not a whole lot. Got to talk a little bit about this shooting in Nashville. A little bit about this shooting in Nashville. And the shocker to me, which I think to a lot of people was the shocker, we've seen this stuff happen over and over again. It's nothing new. Shame to say, when I heard, there's a shooting in Nashville at a school, I thought, again, you know what I'm saying? Like, my heart didn't drop like, oh my God, no. It was like, another one? Really? Like, come on, y'all. That was kind of my vibe when I first heard it. Like, really? Another one? But it wasn't like, another school. We're used to them now, which is bad. Of course, I automatically assumed it was a white person. It's a fairly safe assumption to make now. I mean, it's not necessarily a good assumption. It's not good that, we have to make any of these assumptions. But it was my initial assumption. But I thought a white dude. To find out that it was a woman, according to, hold on, let me pull it up. According to reports, they say a heavily armed woman shot 3 students and 3 staff members at a small private Christian elementary school. 28-year-old Nashville woman. A woman. I don't know why that kind of, as they say, that hit different, but it does something slightly different to me, mentally, emotionally. Look, I'm still, it's terrible that, because I think, what did they say? 3 children and 3 adults killed. So that's 6 people dead. I just still, look, and I'm sure I'll get some pushback about this. I don't understand the idea of going into an elementary school shooting people. I don't understand that. Like, I get into it in a second. Let me, because I want to speak with people as they come in. Anthony says, good afternoon from the west side. Good afternoon, Anthony. Brent, checking in from Dallas, Texas. All right. We got Vincent in the house. Vincent says, what's up? Where is everybody? I'm only on the 3 channels. I'm only on the afternoon experiment exclusive channels. I'm not on my private pages. So a lot of people have not made their way to the exclusive channels. So, if I end up with like 10 people today, I'll be shocked. But, I got to bring them over here. And then, expand back out. But I got to get y'all. So if y'all don't mind, share. So that people know, he is on. That's just where he is. Let me see. So that's where everyone is. They're just not here because they're probably waiting on their notification from the private pages. Daryl says, good afternoon. E-Man and the Afternoon Experiment crew. Sierra says, hello from Boston. Brent says, is that legs or no nonsense on your head? This is generic Walgreens brand pantyhose. Generic Walgreens brand. They just come in a little clear thing. I think you can get them in white, you can get them in brown, and you can get them in black. Generic Walgreens brand. I think it's like 59 cents. I was like, you can't beat that. Yes, I keep trying to get y'all. And yes, we are exclusive. We are exclusive. Yes, pantyhose. I didn't even cut them off. Still got the feet part in there. Actually, I got a little bit of everything, Brent. I got the Murrays, I got the Sporting Waves, and I got the green and the blue magic. I got Vaseline. I got some of everything. I can't. I'm giving up on the willies. I can't get, my hair will not wave. It just is what it is. So I just wear it sometimes, just, kind of mat it down a little bit so it look a little less frizzly. That's not even really a word, but it don't get frizzy. It just get little, But anyway, that's a whole other thing. Brenda says, hello from Fairfield. Oh, we up to my 10. I'm happy for the day. I got 10 people. I'm happy. We can have a intimate conversation today. We can be intimate, not that kind of intimate. Y'all want me to get deep voice. Hey girl, how you doing? No, not that kind of intimate. Intimate, just a small group of us. They would not straighten my hairline. But that's funny though. But yeah, no, we're doing the intimate thing today. Again, I didn't expect any more than 10, like I'm up to 14 people, but we gonna just plow forward. We're gonna plow forward. But again, like and share. If, like Maria, I know you're watching on YouTube. Good afternoon, by the way. Like it and share it so that the normal people who watch on YouTube know, oh, he's on, but I got to go to that afternoon experiment page. So like it and share it. Everybody else too, but let me see. Now back to the thing about the teachers. Or about the kids. Shooting in Nashville, 3 children, 3 adults killed at an elementary school in Nashville. Now, I was getting ready to say, look, I understand. Let me put the chat on. I understand kind of people who were bullied in high school, maybe going to the school and, turning up or whatever. I don't agree with it. I don't condone it. But I kind of understand it. You're 28 years old. You almost 30 damn years old. Why are you going to an elementary school shooting kids? Why are you going to an elementary school shooting kids? There's no, in my mind, there's no rational reason behind that. Again, I'm not saying I agree with bullied kids taking guns to high schools and shooting. I don't agree with that. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying at least I can kind of understand the mental process that goes into that. Oh man, I've been going to school. It's been 2, 3, 4 years. They won't leave me alone. They just keep picking on me and I'm sick and tired of it. And I'm going to go in there and I'm going to do something about it. Again, not agreeing with it. Just saying there's a logic behind it. Not justifiable logic, but there is a logic behind it. You are almost 30 years old. What did those little kids do to you? They say it was a 28-year-old woman, which is unusual, just that it's a woman. And she went in, they say, heavily armed with assault-style weapons. She had 2 assault-style rifles and a pistol. What could the little kids have done? I don't know if you've ever, I'm sure you have, because, You're people who grew up. But just recently, if you've not gone to an elementary school, this sounds creepy if you don't have kids, but if you've not gone to an elementary school and just watch little kids go to school, they don't have a care in the world. I mean, they have a care in the world, but not like, we do. They just, it was time to go to school. Oh, let me go to school. When I drop the little baby off, I watch all those little kids going in while we waiting, because the way that they do it at her school is I always get there early because I don't want the little baby to ever be late for school because of me. So I get there a little early. So we sit in the car and she might draw, or, we might sing, or, any number of things can happen in that car in probably the 15 minutes that we're sitting there, because her class doesn't enter the school until a certain time. But 2 other classes enter between the time that I show up and the time it's time for her to show up. And you watch these little kids get out of the car in all of their little kid moods. Some of them happy, jumping, laughing. Some of them look a little sad. Some of them look a little sleepy. You know what I'm saying? They little kids. They have the full range of little kid emotions. But I look at them and I think, man, these little kids, like they just going through, like they don't know nothing. Because they little kids. Little kids don't know nothing. They don't really know about the evils of the world. They don't know about having to struggle to pay bills, and they don't know, they don't know. They just little kids, being little kids, doing little kid stuff. Put on that book bag that's, a little more than half their size, and go bouncing into the school, just happy, holding somebody's hand. Their little hands ain't even really big enough to hold hands, so they have to hold like a finger or two, because that's all their little hands can wrap around. So they holding your fingers as you walk in, and, you drop them off. Bye, bye, bye. They happy. Who sees that and says, I want to kill them? Like, there is no reason in my mind, no logical reason to shoot. Like, even if you had beef with, say you had a child at the school, and you got beef with another kid who bullying your kid, and the teachers and administrators who didn't stop it. Why do you going in shooting kids? Who thinks like that? Let me shoot kids, and let me take 2 assault rifles and a pistol. These is little kids, like. And then this is a woman. And I know, women, men, it's Women's History Month. Women want equal opportunity, equal rights, equal everything. This is something that y'all cannot be equal in. We don't need y'all to step up and fulfill y'all quota of being school shooters. No, leave that to the crazy males. And hopefully we can stop them. But we don't need women. We don't need y'all to step up in this area. Daryl says, my wife is a teacher who look after little ones. God forbid this hits home and my son is in classroom next to hers too. Like, it's crazy. And again, I have to keep stressing when I make the comparison. I don't know that there's really ever a reason to go shooting up a school. High school, middle school, whatever. But elementary school? Elementary school. How do you stop it? You know what? We can dance around that forever. This is not really a way to stop it. I think I floated this idea a long time ago. Whether it's a good idea or a bad idea, I don't know. It probably, when you really think about it, it's probably a bad idea. I have a lot of bad ideas. But some sort of mental health counseling from the time people start school. Like maybe just once a week or once a month, heck, once a year, everybody in schools, public schools, private schools, charter schools, what do you mean public schools? Charter schools, the Catholic schools, the religious schools, everybody had to undergo some sort of counseling. Some sort of counseling. Like with like a real therapist, not like a school counselor. And I'm not hating on school counselors, but a lot of times we rely on school counselors. That's like your guidance counselor. Your guidance counselor. But no, like a mental health professional. At least once a year. But maybe once a quarter. You got to sit down with a mental health professional and, undergo some sort of therapy from the time you start school. I don't know what they do. Therapists know. Professionals know. Like you sit them down and you say, how are you doing? How are things going at home? How are you processing? Whatever it is that they say, I don't know. And you let people talk out their issues. How are you getting along with your fellow students, your classmates? How do you feel when someone tells you no? Whatever it is, but maybe on a regular basis from at least kindergarten, maybe even preschool. Like you start in preschool and you start with some counseling once a quarter. Would that end it? I doubt it. But I don't know that it could hurt. But I don't think that there is an answer. I don't think there's an answer to end it. I don't think there's an answer to end it. Because people gonna have to, look, y'all talk about we need to ban assault style rifles. I don't necessarily agree with that. Because people who want to get illegal assault style rifles will go get them. Like this 28-year-old woman, you taking 2 assault style rifles and a pistol to a school to shoot up an elementary school. If it were not legal, she'd probably find a way to get an illegal assault style rifle. She'd probably find a way to get an illegal one because she's, most people, well, I like to think anyway, that most people, we all have bad thoughts. I think we all have bad thoughts. We all think, I should do so-and-so. Oh, I could rob a bank. Oh, I could just do something to that person. When I'm driving, this happened to me over the weekend. I'm driving, I'm minding my own business. Somebody turns, or we're going. It was right at, what is that? Hamilton and what's the street that Aiken is on? Belmont, not Hamilton, North Bend, and where Belmont and North Bend, I'm going straight, the person is coming straight, and that person kind of drifts over into my lane because people can't drive. So that person kind of drifts over into my lane. So we're coming like head on at each other. Of course, I take slight evasive maneuvers and blow my horn. They notice because they was on their phone. So they notice and then grab it back over in their lane. I had a thought just for a split second. I should just hit them. They in my lane. I could just hit them. It won't really damage my car much, but it'll F their car up. That'll teach them. It was a quick thought, just real quick. I promise it was super quick thought. And then I said, you know what I'm saying? I believe we all have bad thoughts, but just reasonable people recognize that's a bad thought and I'm not going to follow through with it. That's a bad thought. I'm not going to follow through with it. That's what reasonable people do. I think it would have been unreasonable, though possibly legal, for me to just stay in my lane and pow, wreck that car. Could I have? Sure. I don't think that would be reasonable. We all have thoughts. But reasonable people have them and let them pass. Unreasonable people have them, some crazy ones, and then follow through. And if I have a crazy thought, like, you know what? I'm going to go to the elementary school and shoot a bunch of little kids. Now, I've never had that thought. But if I did, like if I was sitting in the parking lot with that little baby while I'm dropping her off, and I thought, you know, I could go in here and shoot all these kids, I would be like, what the heck? Where would that thought even come from? No, like that, I wouldn't entertain it. Like, thank God I've never had that thought. But if I did, I'm reasonable enough to dismiss that thought quickly. But somebody who has that thought and then entertains that thought and then nurtures that thought and then takes steps to carry that thought out, you're not going to stop them from getting an assault style rifle because it's illegal. They already want to do something illegal, so they probably don't mind doing something illegal to carry out their illegal plan. You understand? Like, that just makes sense. So banning assault weapons, not going to do it. Not going to do it. I said something about the counseling, and somebody said, hold on, who's going to pay for it, I believe. That's my stomach growling. I haven't eaten today. Crystal says she's checking in from work. Hi, Crystal. Somebody asked, I don't see it anymore, but how are we going to pay for it? How are we going to pay for the counseling? We'll just pay for it. Who going to pay for it? Taxpayers going to pay for it. Same people who pay for the guidance counselors. Same people who pay for the teachers. Same people who pay for the IEPs. Same people who pay for, everything else at the school. The taxpayers, they're going to pay for it. I think it would be worth it. I think it would be worth it. Aaron says they need to do as we did in basic training. You get assigned a combat buddy. Kids need to be more socialized with others from an early age. All right. Nat says history shows banning assault weapons does work. Where does history show that? Where does history show that? I'm open to listening. Banning assault weapons stops people from committing violent acts. I would be interested in checking that out. Afternoon, everybody. President Emanuel, checking in from Bond Hill, working from home. I didn't know you were on. Didn't get a notification for this page, but just added an alert to get it in the future. Yes. And share. Just click that little share button so that the other people who might know you and kind of follow you be like, oh, I didn't know he was on. Well, let me go. And then they'll put on a notification. And then, yeah. The GOP runs the debate on these laws. They don't want to pay for public schools in the first place. They damn sure ain't paying for no counseling. Yeah, they will. They'll pay for it. Do we get a check for sharing, E? I'll consider it. I'll give you, we'll do it like, kind of like they pay for music streams. Like you'll get 1/10 of a penny for every time you share it. And then that's payable once you get up to $1,000, but you can only share it once a day. That sounds like a good deal. 1/10 of a penny. So what? Every 10 shows you share, then you've earned a penny. And you can redeem those 1/10 of a penny once you have shared it $1,000 worth. But you can only share the show when it's live. Not you can only share it when it's live. You can share it whenever. But that only counts when it's live. and once per live show. So yes, I'll make that deal with every one of you. Yes, click the share button. Why y'all hung up on the cap? It was like, what, 59 cents at Walgreens and the little things. Yeah, it's some pantyhose. What, I'm supposed to be all fancy and go get some? But I know somebody thinking, no, Ian, you're just not supposed to wear it. Meaning you're never getting paid. No, that's not what that means. Come on, don't try to undersell. Don't try to undersell that. Don't try to undersell it. You could make $1,000 sharing this show. You might have to share a little while, and of course you have to submit proof that you shared it. And so, like, you share it, and then you get a notary to notarize the fact that you shared it. And then that's how you earn your 1/10 of a penny. But it's all legit. I make that vow to you. I promise. I will pay. I promise. $1,000 in 20 years. What you gonna be doing 20 years from now that you ain't gonna be able to appreciate $1,000? Just look at it as an investment. It's an investment. What do you think in your 90s you won't be able to use $1,000? Is that what you're thinking? He's put up a quick article on assault rifle ban. I can't click on that in here. I can't click on that. This won't allow me to click on links, but I will go back and I will check it out. But he says the 2004 federal assault weapons ban worked. Did it? Okay, hold on. Let me see something. I don't know for sure, but if that's what that says. Hold on. Because if that worked, then I am for it. If that worked, then I am for it. Let me see. Scroll. School year 2004-2005 identified school shooting related violent deaths 39. Oh no, wait a minute. 24 shootings. That don't sound like it worked. Because to me, for a ban to work, that means we banned it and there were no shooting deaths in the period in which it was banned. So maybe help me understand what your definition of worked is. And that was just a real quick Google search. Look, Nat, I'm with you. I'm all about solutions. I want solutions. And if you're telling me that it worked, I think we might have different definitions of worked. Has to be automatic weapons. So again, so are we saying, because look, I don't know. Like I said, I just did a real quick Google search. Are we saying if there was a ban in 2004, that the 2004-2005 school year, or the school years under which the ban, where the ban was active, there were no assault style weapon attacks in schools? It did not happen. It cut them out. They ceased to exist. Because if so, y'all got me. I mean, when I say y'all got me, I mean, I'm 100% behind it if that were the case. But I don't think that'll work. I just don't think it'll work. I don't think any of this stuff is going to work. Hold on. A little girl calling me or texting me. I got to eat when I get off the show, y'all. That's my stomach growling. And, you know, I can't text and talk at the same time, so I had to stop. But so, yeah, that happened, and I was completely shocked that it was a woman. Of course, I'm 100% horribly saddened that little kids ended up getting hurt. 100% saddened by that. I'm distraught that it was a woman. Not that it would have been okay if it would have been a man, but I'm distraught that it was a woman who did it. 28-year-old woman. I'm definitely distraught by that. And of course, I feel bad for the teachers as well who got killed. So it's just a horrible story all around. I'm not going to pretend to actually have the answer. I honestly don't think it's ever going to stop. I don't think it's ever going to stop. I think you can, like people say, you can do little things, you know, lock doors and all of that kind of stuff, you know, make sure people can't get in, maybe have some extra security at schools. I'm not necessarily down with the arming teachers thing. Not necessarily down with the arming teachers thing. So wait, I saw the headline for the shooting in Nashville, but didn't get to look at it yet. The shooter is a woman? Yes. A 28-year-old woman went into the school with 2 assault-style weapons and a pistol. Shot and killed 3 kids and 3 teachers. A woman. That is shocking. And banning assault-style weapons is not going to stop it. I don't have the answer. I don't have the answer. Again, my suggestion is more counseling coming up. That would take years to make its way into the, you know, counseled up children learning how to deal with their frustrations, their disappointments, their anger, their issues. That would take a long time to make it up through the system and actually become like a regular, steady part of the populace. But I think that's worth a try. That's worth a try. Shahara says, please say she's white. I don't know. They didn't say that in the story that I read. It didn't give that detailed a description of the shooter. It didn't give that detailed a description. They say the shooter entered through a side entrance of the school and went to the second floor, firing multiple shots. Police received a call of an active shooter at 10:13. Officers responded swiftly, entered the first floor, and began clearing the area. They immediately went to the gunfire, which is important to say. Two of the 5 officers on the floor opened fire on the shooter and killed her by 10:27. She was in a lobby type area, not a classroom. That's what's being reported. The remaining students were escorted out of the building with faculty and staff, and buses took them to the site where students were, of course, reunited with their parents and loved ones. But yeah, that's that. I don't, have any answers. And, at this point, I'm just saying kind of the same thing over and over again. Because that's all I got. It's horrible. It's terrible. And it's exceptionally shocking that it's a woman. And some people I'm sure do. But do we really believe that, let's say that the side door was unlocked. Do we really believe that if you go to a school with 2 assault style rifles and a pistol, and of course your intent is to go in and kill people, and you try the side door and it's locked, you probably don't just say, daggone it, and go home. At that point, you've committed, so you're probably gonna figure out a way to make entry. And I understand, I'm not against locking doors and all of that kind of stuff, but I don't think that's the answer. Maybe it's my phone, but does Emanuel have a stocking cap on his head? I got some straight pantyhose on my head, bro. Some straight pantyhose. I'm willing to bet she was one of those Trump zombies, conspiracy theorist lunatics. I would say that's probably a safe bet. And again, I'm not saying that is the case, but I would imagine that's a safe bet. Jack says, I think schools need to act more like we're lending our children to them instead of they own them once inside. I don't understand what that means. Daryl thinks we got domestic sleeper cells that are American citizens trying to kill American citizens to make a political statement. Agreed. I agree with that. So that's that. I don't really have anything else to add to that. So, again, we here at the Afternoon Experiment send our condolences and, of course, prayers and all of that kind of stuff to the people who are affected by this. Because it's more than just family. You walk up in a school as a law enforcement official and you have to see little dead bodies and walk towards gunfire and you don't really know what you're looking for. That's got to affect you. So, prayers for them as well. And yeah, but that's all I really have on that subject. Let's see, all hearts and minds are clear on that. Of course, you can continue to comment on it if you'd like to. You can continue to comment on it. Let me see. There was another. Did we see the story of Jonathan Majors? Did we see the story of Jonathan Majors being arrested? Now, for a lot of people, you don't know who Jonathan Major is. Well, maybe for a few people. You don't know who Jonathan Majors is. He's the actor, the one who's playing opposite Michael B. Jordan in Creed 3. He was in Lovecraft Country. He's doing the Army commercials now. Him. He was arrested. There's an alleged domestic dispute. So he was arrested, over the weekend. The NYPD described the incident as a domestic dispute where the victim sustained minor injuries to her head and neck. The most troubling aspect of the situation is the inclusion of a strangulation in the charges. The story, the allegation goes a little bit like this. Him and some are saying his girlfriend, some are not carrying it as far as saying as it was a girlfriend. Apparently they're in the car. She tries to go through his phone. And then she alleges that, I guess, they were in the back of a taxi, so that he kind of beat her up and choked her up inside the taxi. Now, of course, his representatives say this is 100% provably false. Apparently, allegedly, she has retracted the charge at this point. I read a report that she has, even in a written statement, retracted the charge. But see, this is the kind of stuff that follow you. This is the kind of stuff that follow you. Even if you're charged with domestic violence, and then the person says, okay, they didn't do nothing. Come on, if you're the Army, are you going to have the dude that was charged with domestic violence continue to be the face of your Army? I mean, he's the face of their ad campaign to pull people into the Army. I could see that being in jeopardy. I could see, and then there's a few other, directors who've come out now. They've used this as an opportunity to come out and say, like, look, we didn't know him to be a physically violent guy, but we know he is exceptionally aggressive and abusive emotionally and, on set. A few of them have come out and said that. Just on the heels of this having happened. Now, I don't know who this woman is. And I don't know if, she's retracted it, allegedly. Apparently, it's been reported. But I don't know that you can forgive somebody who does that. I know I can't. And the potential for it to affect his career moving forward. It's crazy. Let's see. Shahara says, yes, that was crazy. He was the one who called 911, yet they arrested him. That happens. Trust me. They just trying to make him look bad. They said there's video to confirm his innocence, but charges will likely be dropped. But at this point, to some degree, the damage is done. Once you can't unring that bell. So he'll forever be the guy who was charged with domestic violence, or who there were allegations of domestic violence against him. So now he can't even get into an argument with his next girlfriend, assuming that, he moves on from her. He can't even get into an argument with his next girlfriend because somebody gonna look at him like, oh, there was that charge of domestic violence, and even though she dropped them charges, yeah, I see it. That always is gonna be there. That's always gonna be there now. Brent says, according to Dr. Umar Johnson, stop snow bunny hunting. I don't know who his girlfriend is. I don't know if she was a white woman. I didn't see that in any of the reports. Jeannie says he was the star of the movie Devotion, which I didn't see. Mrs. Livingston saw it. She said it was good, but I didn't see it. I might have to check it out. She said I would like it, but she be saying I would like a lot of stuff, and then I'll be watching it like, I didn't like that. You didn't like that? Do you know me? You always telling me I'm gonna like something, and I guess you batting about 75%, but Nat says, at a certain segment group convicted him without any evidence. Yes. Yes. Jack says, that sounds like a Chris Brown Rihanna reenactment. Samuel says he's still confused of him being charged when she recanted the DV. His career will take a hit if he's cleared or not. Exactly. And that's what I have a problem with, even though I understand it to be true. And again, it's not even just this. People use stuff like this. There are two directors who, I don't remember their names. I read a story where they have come out since this incident and said, oh, well, yeah, we've been telling y'all how horrible of a guy he is for years, but nobody believed it. Now that we have a victim, we can actually speak out more about how horrible he is. Look it up. Two directors said that he's a horrible guy now, and he's been abusive for years, not physically. So they want to tarnish it, and that's where I don't know what the answer is, because domestic violence in itself, and in particular, men committing acts of violence against women, horrible. I look at you and I say, I'm not sure that you, this term gets thrown around, you're not a real man to me if you beating up on women. Some of the men beating up on women could beat you up. That don't mean they're a real man. That just mean they probably bigger, stronger, faster, tougher than me. I've been beat up before. That don't mean you're a real man. What's a real man? Let's not get into the weeds. You got issues if you putting your hands on women and you're a man. Period. But for people to play with that. So like, if you are actually recanting the charge, I think you should be charged. I think you should be charged because it's such a damaging charge to make. Because like he said, even if he's cleared, that sticks with you. It sticks with you. Somebody said, what are we talking about? The actor Jonathan Majors was arrested on Saturday for a domestic dispute where he's alleged to have, beat up a woman and strangled her. They said she had bruises and marks, a laceration even behind her ear. Some people jumped on it and said, we told y'all he was a abusive guy. We don't understand why America loves him so much. Well, he's a good actor, that's why. Jack says, get it right. He's not trying to pull people into the army. He's trying to get black people in the army. Well, either way, they're black people are people. The original case this case against Jonathan Majors could mess up his Kang the Conqueror money. Exactly. Especially after that, the Flash guy, or I'm sorry, he don't consider himself a guy. He consider himself a it, or a they, or a them, or whatever. I don't really know all that stuff, but he had some issues. So in the comic book sphere, the movies and all that stuff, he might have messed up some stuff for a lot of people where, now, hold on, he got charged with what? Okay, we know what happened with that. What is his name? The guy who played the Flash, and he's going to be playing the Flash in the Flashpoint movie. Oh, I want to keep saying Idris. It ain't no Idris. But it's something weird like that. I don't remember his name. Anyway, he's been in some legal troubles And so they was like, are we going to scrap the movie? Are we going to keep the movie going? What are we going to do about this movie? He getting all this bad publicity. So a lot of people ain't going to want to come and see the movie. Ezra Miller. That's his name. Thank you. And of course, this could carry over to Jonathan Majors. Like, hold on, he's a good actor, he's our king, but do we really want? I guarantee you this conversation has happened. And at Disney and Marvel, do we really want a guy who was just accused of, and that's why his people had to come out real fast and say, whoa, no. We can prove this one. We can prove it. Shahara says, not necessarily. I want to see the video first before I say that. Before you say what? I don't know what happened. And if I said that I know what happened, then forgive me, but I don't know what happened. But reportedly, she's retracted the claim that she was assaulted. And I know a lot of people will say, well, of course she retracted it, Emanuel. He's a powerful Hollywood guy. He's an A-list actor. He's wealthy. He's popular. He's powerful. What could she do? She had to retract that. And that's what I'm saying. See, you can't cry wolf. And then when they all show up with their pitchforks or whatever you fight off wolves with, be like, side. Because this is unlike Crying Wolf. Like, they showed up and they saw that it wasn't no wolves. And they like, lying ass. In this case, people still gonna be like, but what if he did? You know, he could have really. I'm sorry, I'm scrolling through the comments now. Somebody said, who is Jonathan Majors? Jonathan Majors is the actor. If you've seen any of the promotional stuff or seen the movie Creed 3, which I still haven't seen yet, he's the guy playing opposite Michael B. Jordan. He was in, I'm not one of these guys who follow people all like that. He's doing the Army commercials, Be All You Can Be, the black guy doing the Army commercials, Be All You Can Be. He's Kang in the Marvel movies now. He was in Lovecraft Country, the lead black guy in Lovecraft Country. He was in, what was that other movie that he was in that people said are good? People said are good. The people said is a good movie. I want to say Devotion. That might not be the name of it. But he's a very popular actor right about now. That's who he is. And he was arrested on Saturday. The police described the incident as a domestic dispute. All right, Janice is here. Hey, Janice. Janice says she's back from running her errands. All right. Daryl says Dana White was caught on video slapping his wife and no one batted an eye, but this Jonathan Majors incident, now everyone up in arms and outrage. This is the America we live in. This is the America we live in. A similar thing happened to Nate Parker. Shahara agrees. Lady K says she might have got paid off. I'm just saying. And that's what a lot of people who want to believe the worst, that's what they'll say. Well, she got paid off. Of course, you give her enough money, she'll say, oh, he didn't do nothing to me. But then that means that those people still believe he was slapping her and choking her in the back of that taxi. Who want to go see a movie starring a dude who be slapping and choking bitches? You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody want to see that movie. Nobody want to see that. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. The charge itself. People are always like, maybe it did happen. Even if you see a video where you like, he didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. Like, we saw the whole thing on video. There's still somebody out there who didn't see the video. Who gonna be like, ain't that the dude that be slapping and choking bitches? I don't want to go see his movie. And okay, we know that he didn't do it, but that rumor is kind of following him around. So, I mean, it's between him and Michael B. Jordan. Well, let's give the role to Michael B. Jordan because he's never been charged with slapping and choking nobody. Yeah, you're right. He could lose roles just based on this alone. Well, if his Army commercial was going to get pulled. Anthony said, it don't matter if a man or a woman. Some people are just crazy. Did we just have a woman that killed her father and kids except for one daughter that lived? Stephen A. went to bat for Dana White. I'm behind on the comments, y'all. They move fast. Y'all seeing them, but I'm trying to talk and I can't in this tiny print over here. You didn't read my comment in time when you said what I was replying to. I don't want to say his career is pretty much over or in bad shape. I know. Okay. You always giving me a hard time, Shar. I thought he was cool. And don't forget about Michael Irvin. Oh, I meant to mention that. I saw the video with Michael Irvin. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can pull that video up. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up. Because I actually saw the video. And after watching the video, Michael Irvin got a right to be mad. Let me see if I can let's see. I don't want you. I don't want to see you. I don't need to see all of that. I don't need to see the press conference. Okay, that's the portion where the video is. Okay, that's what I need to see. So, I'm going to pause this and see if I can do a little, it ain't magic. See if I can do a little magic here. Anybody watch? It's not real magic. It's not real magic. I just use that term. Somebody somewhere gonna be mad at me. Y'all know I got haters. He said he was gonna do magic and I was watching it. What he did wasn't actually magic. Send your mama. No, I'm just playing. I wouldn't say that. I would never say anything like that. That's horrible to say to a person. I would never tell nobody to send their mama to my house. Let's see. We'll grab that one. We'll grab that one. Show it to me in the folder. All right. And then let's see. This is where the magic happens, not actual magic. See if I can do this while on air. I don't know if this will happen while on air. We're about to find out. Oh, okay. It looks like it might have been able to happen. All right. All right. So there is a, hold on, let me cut this off. I'm gonna cut that out. My stomach is just going crazy. I need to eat. I have to tell Mrs. Livingston, get in the kitchen. No, I'm just playing. I don't talk to her like that. I think she would hit me. All right, Michael Irving, Brent brought this up. He reminded me, we're talking a little bit about domestic violence and the horrible, especially if it's not true. Like if it's true, it's horrible. And Jonathan Major's career should suffer. Like I'm comfortable with that. Is it true? I don't know. If it is true, it's horrible. Your career should suffer. I'm comfortable with that. But if it ain't true, I think the one who makes the false charge should suffer. I really believe that. And then we talked about, Brent brought up Michael Irving. And Brent talked about my scroll wheel. It's got the little click sound. That's just normal. Like I don't have one of these fancy ones that don't make noise. I got to get my little Apple Magic Mouse. But that's kind of expensive. This is an old school wired mouse that I've had forever. And it worked just fine on my new Mac. Why would I buy a new one? So don't hate on my mouse clicking. Hold on, let me scroll. All right, I just jumped over a whole lot of comments, but now let me see if I can get this up here. Pause. Now they're gonna show this Michael Irving video. And like this is the whole exchange. Now remember the accounts where, he walk up on her and, he says some crude stuff to her, but he grabbed her. And then he grabbed her arm and she didn't want to go. And then he forcefully kissed her. And then she tried to walk away and he was shaking her hand and he wouldn't let the hand go. And then he grabbed her arm again and she pulled away. Remember that whole account. And I'm going to see if this thing will play the way it's supposed to play. So this is the actual video of the incident.
Okay, as we start here, y'all can see up to the top right, Michael is outside with the gentleman that were here last time via Zoom. I've called them the TMZ witnesses because they were the first to interview them, but it's three gentlemen. If you notice his body movements and what's going on, he's obviously going to be very friendly. There's some other people actually that I don't know their identity. Take a picture. That guy right there on the left, stop it. And go back 10 seconds. Can you do that? When I talked about the people that were in the back talking, I believe the complaining witness, I believe it's this gentleman here who's some kind of a manager, and then you'll see the witness who's been back come out this side, okay? She's gonna walk way around here to this pole instead of back to where her job would be back that way. Okay, go ahead and roll it. There he goes. She'll come this way pretty soon across the bottom. Also, when she walks up, you'll see she kind of looks around the pole to see if Michael is still coming. You see her just barely duck her head. Here she comes. Okay, right there. You see how she stuck her head to the right? And now pause it. Now, she's way ahead of Michael. If she was to continue at her same speed for her job, she should be way over in the bar in a second, but she clearly slows down so that they're going to intersect at that kind of juncture where you have to walk in the bar. So go ahead. This is the shake I talked to you about in the beginning, the opening shake. Pause it. This guy over here with his hands on his hips is the angry manager, okay? If you go back a few seconds, I want him to see what he does with the hand clap when he sees her with Michael. He comes behind the bar. You'll see him walk out. So focus on him this time instead of on her. We went back a little far.
It's not as granular as it should be.
Okay. Well, we got it coming now because here she comes. He sees her back there where he's vectored, and he comes up, the manager, and you'll see him when he sees her. Watch his expression, what he does. See the claps? I don't know what that is. Then he comes up here, and you can see he's visibly frustrated at what's going on somehow with her. Now let's take your focus back to Michael and her, because you can see they have friendly interaction. The body language is good, and they're just talking. In fact, if you see, he keeps more space from him than he does when he's talking to any male at any point in the bar. Some of y'all probably wish he'd keep more space when he talked to you. Guy's pacing, hitting his hands. He's upset over there on the left with whatever's happening. The guy in the gray up top, that's the security guard that's wandering around. He'll circle around many times around Michael and her. Pause it 1 second. Now, we've been going for a while. They're having a lot of conversation. As Marriott released in their statement, they said basically, he said one word to her, an offensive, vulgar thing that he did not say, and it's clear from the video and from these witnesses. But they have a very lengthy conversation, and no one's trying to tell us what that is. Go ahead. That's where she tells some kind of joke, I believe, to him. You see him kind of bend over. She's shaking her head back and forth like that. He walked in closer to her. She didn't back up at all. Now they're shaking hands. Now I want you to watch the end interaction here, because she's going to kind of, when the people come up, she'll kick her leg. As she walks off, she's still talking to Michael over the shoulder, all friendly. There you go. Kicks her leg. And see right here, she's going to look back over her shoulder and say something to Michael. Now pause it. Pause it. Okay. They claim he was leering at her. When he looks back in the bar, she's way gone. Because you're about to watch, she's going to go over here, and that guy is going to go he's going to get very visibly upset with her. And basically, there's somebody who's, I don't want to use the word abusive, but there's somebody who's really being forward to her. It's this gentleman here. It wasn't Michael. So watch what happens. Okay, go ahead and roll the tape. You see him grab her, and she follows. Now pause it. Now Michael's looking over there for the first time. He's not watching her. He's talking to these guys. You'll see in a second they turn around and they start talking to him, the guy in the white hat. Okay, go ahead. See? Now Michael walks out to go take a selfie with this, we believe,
and so that's pretty much the entire incident. So, yeah, again, remember what was said. He grabbed her hand. He wouldn't let it go. He touched her. She didn't want him to touch her, but he touched her. He kissed her, and all of that stuff was said. Then you watch the video, and it looked like a cat. Now, I'll be honest, he did leer at her a little bit when she walked away. I think he liked her rear end, and he looked at it. I could tell the way he looked. He was like, I could tell. But ain't nothing wrong with that if you ask me. What's wrong with if a woman walked past you, she's past you, you can't look back and say, damn. What's wrong with that? He didn't do anything she said, but she said it. How did he look at that woman again? He said, in my mind, that's what it, ooh, damn. Now, I didn't see all of that looking at her, but apparently he did. I believe he probably said what she said he said. And she probably, that was what they laughed at. That's just me, saying stuff. I don't know that to be a fact. But he probably did say, you ever had a black man in you or something to that nature? He probably did say that. And she laughed about it. And then she stood there and talked to him for a minute. And then she walked away. But all it is, he wouldn't let me go, and he aggressively touched my arm, and he tried to kiss me, and all of that didn't happen. But we heard it, and so a lot of people believed it. The NFL pulled that man from the Super Bowl coverage, or at least the network pulled him from Super Bowl coverage because of what we just saw. Because of that video. And of course, the point that I'm making by bringing all of this up is that, hey, allegations of sexual or violent impropriety from men to women rightfully get taken very seriously now. But because they get taken as seriously as they do, there should definitely be some repercussions for false, just blatantly false accusations. No doubt. Yeah, he looked. He liked that. I'm not here to judge what he liked and what he don't like. He liked it. And he looked at it. Some would say he leered at it. She couldn't see him looking. Is it really? And I'm asking the ladies. First, ladies, is it insulting? Is it demeaning for a man to check you out? Is that demeaning? You walking in the mall, nobody goes to malls. You walking down the street, you in the club. Y'all kind of old, y'all ain't going to clubs. You at the New Edition concert with your girls. Y'all all, painted up and did up, whatever. You walk past a dude look at you. Damn. Is that offensive to y'all? And I'm just curious. I don't know. I'm not a woman. I've never been a woman. But is that offensive? I know I've done it. I wasn't trying to be offensive. Is it offensive? LaDonna says no. I wish he would. Okay. It doesn't seem like it should be all that offensive. And, because y'all not answering me, so I don't know what that means. And, is it offensive, ladies, if he looking and you don't even know he looking because you ain't looking at him? You ain't looking at him. You don't walk past him and he turned around and he looked. How can you be offended if you don't know? How can you be offended if you don't know? And then, you turn around. What you turning around looking at him for? To see if he looking so you can be offended? Because I've seen that. It didn't happen to me. But I've seen, when we used to go to malls, a guy walked past a woman. He turned and looked at her. He was checking her out. Clearly he was. And then she turns back to look and see if he looking. And because he was looking, what you looking at? Why are you looking at me like that? And I'm like, why are you offended? If you'd have just kept walking, you wouldn't even know he was looking. You were looking back to see if he was looking so you could manufacture some offense. How you be mad at somebody for looking at you? You know what I'm saying? Well, it's not just looking, it's leering. Daryl says 85% of these black athletes, NBA and NFL, all have babies by or married to a white woman. That is sad to me. Look, I don't care who they marry. Would I, if I don't even know if I'm comfortable saying that. I don't care who, Daryl, I don't care who you marry. I don't care who you marry. I like, and I don't know what it is, but there is something I'll even go as far as say I love black love. I love everybody love differently, but there is a certain something where I see, a black man with his black woman and they are loving on each other. That makes me happy. I love black love, but I ain't got no beef with multiracial love either. You know what I'm saying? I got a cousin, black male. His wife is a white woman. She's one of the nicest people I ever met. And they've been together for years. And they love each other. They love each other. I ain't got no beef with that. None. So yeah, I love black love, but I'm all right with love, just period. So I don't care who they marry. Now I understand, the mindset, you got these guys who have all of this money and all of this wealth and, they don't share that wealth within the community. They take that wealth out of the community and, I don't know. I understand all of that. But I really don't care. I don't care who you marry, Daryl. I don't care who Michael Irving marries. I don't care whoever marry. Nat says they looking at gray sweatpants too. Don't let them fool you. Miss Pittsburgh said Michael was fine. Her loss. Okay. I'll take your word for that. He looked like a dude to me. LaDonna says, I've walked past guys and we looked at each other. Okay. Emanuel looked like he doing that show from the penitentiary. Why can't y'all get past it? It's a pair of pantyhose. Don't be so caught up on the visual of a thing. Daryl says, black love is the most beautiful thing in the world. I love black love. I do. But I don't know. If you ain't me, you know what I'm saying? I only really care about who I marry. Like even my daughter, if she came home with a white man tomorrow and she said, Daddy, I'm in love with this man. Well, it would take me a little bit by surprise, but as long as he loving you the way that's acceptable to you, he ain't putting his hands on you or nothing like that. You happy? I'm happy. That's all I care about. You wasn't saying that when you was caught up with Lincoln's eternity. I didn't have a problem with it. I was just shocked because I didn't even know such a thing existed. That was it. Everybody know pantyhose exists. Everybody know. All y'all brothers know. Well, I can't say all of y'all, but most of y'all done wore them before. Sisters, probably some of the sisters watching right now, you got some pantyhose on your head right now under your wig or your lace front or whatever. So it ain't like people don't know that it exists. I didn't know that turtleneck hoodies existed. That's why I was just shocked, like, wow, it's a novel concept. My mama used to tell us that you can't stop nobody from looking at you. Daryl saying 30 years these league players are going to look like Patrick Mahomes. I don't really care. Kenneth says he never wore. You never wore a, okay, well, I did and I do. I got one on right now. Deal with it. Anthony said, I'm cool with it as long as you don't have pantyhose on behind the desk, bro. If that's the same boat, you're in the same boat as Marcus Jenkins. I don't wear pantyhose except for on my head every so often. LaDonna said, yeah, my daughter went out with a white guy. I was a little skeptical, but it didn't last long. Yeah, man, look, if you happy, one of my brothers was married to a white woman, as long as he was happy, I was cool with it. I don't care. And it's funny that even in my mind, I don't be judging like, oh, you were a white woman. You know, I don't even really think about it. It's two people and they together and they in love. When they around me, they sing happy to the mug. That make me happy. I really do love seeing people happy. You're going to have a line going across your forehead. Yeah, I know. That is true. There is somebody for everybody. But yeah, Michael Irving, he did. He leered at her. But he didn't do none of that other stuff to the extent that was reported. And somebody said, the Marriott put him out and banned him from coming in or something like that. So I didn't know that. I knew that he had been, here it is, Brent. Brent says, the Marriott even immediately put Michael Irving out of their hotel and banned him from all Marriott hotels around the world. But then we see the video, and it looks like a casual conversation. Her, I don't know, do you call it flirting women? Is him hitting on her and her being flirtatious back? Would that be the appropriate way to classify it? Because that's what it looked like to me. He hitting on her and her doing a little thing where she kind of swaying a little bit, kicking her leg. And, I'm not a woman. I don't do it effeminately. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all do that little swaying thing, kick the leg and all that stuff like she did. That all looked like flirtatious behavior. That didn't look like, ooh, I want to get away from this dude. Somebody come and rescue me. That's a little signal that I've had with ladies in the band. Keep an eye on the ladies in the band. And they be talking to dudes, because dudes be trying to hit on them. And if they, somebody and, they kind of do this, come over and hey, we need to go over something for the next set. And they can say, excuse me, let me go over here. And they be like, oh my God, he was getting on my nerves. She wasn't giving no signals to leave me alone. She was kind of giving the signals like, what I'm saying? You throwing it at me and I'll take it out. That's what it looked like to me. All Emmanuel needs is a cigarette behind his left ear. Let Ozzy know that there is some pie out here waiting on him somewhere. That's messed all on her lies. Yeah, all because she lied. And there should be punishment to pay for that. Daryl says, my younger brother got kids by whites women, and she is crazy as hell. They stay into it, and the first thing she do is call the police and lie on him. We be telling him to leave that woman alone before she gets you killed by the police on false accusations. Well, I would have that same problem if he was dealing with the thing with a black woman. Or, Asian woman. The Asian Indian woman. Some Australian bitch. You know what I'm saying? No matter what. Like, hold on. She crazy Why are you with a crazy chick? She call the police on you all the time and lie. I don't care what color, race, whatever she is. I got an issue with that. So I don't necessarily think, Daryl, that's a white people thing. That's not necessarily a white woman thing. Trust me when I tell you, it's some crazy sisters out here too that'll lie on you to the police, get you arrested, have your kids testify against you in court, and then be mad when you get found not guilty because one of the kids slipped up and told the truth. Trust me, that exists. Ask me how I know. I'm not going to answer how I know. LaDonna says she was flirting. Did I just hear a humpback whale in the background trying to communicate? No, you might have heard my stomach. It's going crazy. I had to kitchen. Mrs. Livingston kitchen. Let me see. Some people are really drawn to drama and discourse. Yeah, it exists. And it exists in all different races. But if a white woman calls and sheds some tears, your A is in trouble. Okay. All I'm saying, and I meant it, and I stand by it. I don't care who marry who. If y'all happy, you know what I'm saying, and you know it's a functional relationship, then I ain't got no beef with it. None. Now, if it's a dysfunctional relationship, then you might want to consider other things. I tell you what, I made my mind up a while ago after that first marriage and another incident or two. I don't know why it took me that long. Mrs. Livingston told me I'm slow on the uptake. I said, I think that's offensive. And let me give me a minute to process it. But I said, you know what? Man, life is too short. Life is too short to be running around stressing over stuff. And I got to a point in my life where I said, look, I ain't gonna ever be with a woman who, you know, for example, somebody call you and say, hey, what you doing? If when I see that name on the phone, or back in that time, if I see that number pop up on my caller ID and I think, oh, shit, not her again. I don't need to be with her. I don't need to spend no time with her because I don't like being around her. She's stressing me out for some reason. Life's too short to be stressed out. I don't need to be with her. I only need to be with people who I want to be with, who I look forward to being with. That was it. I made up my mind a long time ago about that. I think after that, you know what I'm saying, after you get divorced. Because when I was married the first time, I probably should have left a number of times, but in my mind, there was still this stigma about being divorced. Like, oh, I don't want to, I made a vow. I don't want to break that vow. We got to make this work. I got to do whatever it takes to make this thing work because I made a vow and I don't want to break it. After that first, if I ain't happy, I'm out. If I ain't happy, I'm out. If you ain't treating me right, I'm out. I ain't got time. I made up my mind. So it wouldn't have mattered if she was white, if she was black, if she was, Asian. She wouldn't have been Asian. If she wouldn't have been white either. But if she was white, black, Asian, Native American, Asian Indian, what they call them? Polynesian? What they call them, like they're a thing. You know what I'm saying? None of that other stuff would have mattered. If I ain't happy, I'm out. I got no time to be unhappy. I'm sure you already talked about the woman that said a black man tried to rape her at the valet station while her husband was in the car. No, I didn't even see that story. I didn't even see that story. No. Puerto Rican, Dominican, Samoan. Look, as long as I got a few things that she got to have. One of them is, this is going to be a little crude. If you got kids watching, shame on you for having your kids watching me. But she got to have a nice rear end. She got to have a nice ass. You know what I'm saying? It can't be, oh, it's firm, but it's flat. You know what I'm saying? It don't feel like it's hard to keep a flat one firm. No, it's got to be round. It's got to protrude out, and it's got to be round. But she's Asian, you know. No. She's Asian and she ain't got that round. No, thank you. But she's Samoan and she's so... Is it round? Is it round? I mean, it's kind of wide. I don't care about wide. Is it round? No, it's not round. I'm sorry. Yeah, he's not interested. He's not interested. It's got to be round. If it's round, she got a shot. Then the question becomes, do I have a shot? Sammy said, pull the video. It is unreal. I will definitely check it out. I will check it out. LaDonna said, that's why I'm cool. Well, I mean, you don't have to, but you still got to try. I'm telling you, I hate when women be like, no, I'm cool. I don't need no. Stop it. You know you want to be, most people want to be in a good, loving, healthy relationship. And then women be like, well, what's the one who got mad at me and stopped calling the show? I can't remember her name right now. I can remember her voice. I can remember all the stuff we used to say off air. What is her name? She got mad at me because she talking about she don't want to have no relationship. You, Beth, yes, you want to have a relationship. Yes, you do. Stop fronting. It ain't happening for you right now. You might even gave up being in a position where it could happen. That don't mean you don't want it. I think we all want it. You know, I don't want no relationship. I'm fine. Me and this and that. But if you found the one, he treated you exactly like you want to be treated. He acted exactly like you need and want him to act, that will fulfill you and that part of you. And he allows whatever it is, you would say no. If God himself said, I have created the perfect man for you. I don't know why God talked like that. He's very articulate. You'd be like, no, thank you, God. I don't want him. Stop it. No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. You'd be like, all right, cool. Where you at? Please, can you tag Brother Kenneth Perry? That was from Brother Kenneth Perry. Well, on here, I don't know if you were asking me that. On here, I can't tag nobody. I'm going through a third-party thing to stream to multiple formats, and I don't have the ability to do all of the things that I could do. If I were just broadcasting live on Facebook, then I could do that. Blaze says, Beth crazy as hell. I knew what you meant. Beth want to get Father MC. Kenneth says, yes, you can. No, I can't, Barack Obama. I'm telling you what I can't do on here. Or at the very least, let me take that back. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to tag you through Restream. But I mean, somebody tag Kenneth Perry. He just want to be tagged. He just keep somebody tag him, cause I'm if I'm being spammed or whatever. Loving the sweatshirt. Oh, thank you. This old thing. No, I made this a while ago. Actually, I've got to make some more. Don't get me talking about it, okay? Because I don't need Jason mad at me because I haven't given him his shirts yet, even though I plan on making them this week. I finally got my print and press. It wasn't holding registration. The screen printers out here will understand what I'm saying. It wasn't holding registration, so he wants colors on dark, so I have to do an underbase. So I can't do the underbase because it'll be peeking out because my press wasn't holding registration. So I had to go through and figure out what the issue was. I think I figured out what the issue was. I had to tighten some stuff up and all of that kind of stuff. But I think I figured it out. Now I just need to order me some Plastisol because I'm not switching, but I'm going to do it in Plastisol instead of water-based. And I've been a water-based shop. I've been printing with water-based for a while, and I'm going to make the jump to use Plastisol for a host of different reasons. But I don't have any Plastisol, so I just got to order it. So, Jason, if you're watching, I got you. He approved the design. I got you. I just got to wait for the ink to come in. And once the ink come in, then we'll be good. Okay, I don't know who this person is. Phyllis says, not so much, but Emanuel will be Emanuel. I don't know what you're talking about. Brent says, Kenneth Perry, I think this is the same head in the scrolling comments. All right, I'm just seeing him type it a whole lot. And I know I don't want to block nobody. But you can't just keep typing your name. You know what I'm saying? You can't just keep typing your name and be like, oh, there we go. I just put my name up there 800 times. So it looked like he might be correcting somebody about it. So that's that. But just kind of to recap what we talked about today, the shooting in Nashville. It's a female shooter. It's the first time I can think of one of these school shooters have been female. The female shooter went to an elementary school, killed 3 children and 3 of the staff. She went in, according to reports, with 2 assault-style rifles and a pistol. The police came in and the police shot her, killing her. She was a 28-year-old woman who went to an elementary school. Also, Jonathan Majors was arrested, charged with assault and harassment. If you don't know who he is, he's an A-list actor, black male. And not looking good. I mean, they got experts weighing in. Experts on domestic violence has asserted that strangulation is a sign that abuse can escalate to more dangerous outcome. So, they're already trying to elevate it to another level. LaDonna says, they said that she was a teenager. Well, that's not what this report says. This report says she was a 28-year-old woman. You almost 30 years old. You almost 30 years old. Kenneth Perry, are you responding to somebody? Or are you just like spamming? Just curious. You might have never heard of the show. So you're asking who I am. Okay, there you go. Man, I don't do a good enough job of the people. I figure if you're watching, you know who I am. But I get new people kind of check in every once in a while. So, yeah. Janice says there have been 61 shootings this year, only one female. I'll have to admit, that's a shocking aspect to this story. That is a really shocking aspect to this story. We also talked a little bit about Michael Irving. A little bit about Michael Irving, what he was accused of, and we kind of watched the video and we saw it didn't look like he did any of the stuff that he was accused of. We couldn't hear what he was saying, so he might have asked her, what did she say he asked her? Something like, have you ever had a black man inside of you, or something like that? A big black man inside of you. He might have said that. Other than that, are y'all still waiting for Trump to be indicted? I think Trump pulled one over on y'all. I think he pulled one over on y'all. And I think he probably thinks he's gonna be indicted. And so to kind of head everything off, he said he was gonna be arrested to stir up everything, to make people pause on the notion of indicting him. I think that's probably what happened. And a lot of people bought into it. Like, oh, they're going to indict him. Oh, we can't wait. I haven't heard Lincoln Ware today. And if you don't know Lincoln Ware, he has a radio show here in Cincinnati. He's been on the air in some form or capacity for like 50 years. So he still does a talk show here. And he's like, well, the DA said he was going to arrest him this week. Why ain't he did it? And I'm like, the DA never said that. Trump said that. What's his name? Alvin Briggs? Or is it Braggs? I always get it confused. He never came out and released a statement saying, we plan on indicting and arresting Donald Trump on Tuesday. He didn't say that. So you can't be mad at the man for not doing something that he never said he was gonna do. Y'all bought into Trump saying it. Trump's, I'm gonna be arrested on Tuesday. All right, everybody here. Well, it didn't happen. He said he's gonna arrest him. Why don't he just do it? He never said that. Relax. If you're gonna be mad at somebody, be mad at Trump. Why are you playing with my emotions, bro? Stop playing with my emotions. But Trump knew what he was doing. Trump knew exactly what he was doing. So we got that going on. Apparently, there was some high winds in Mississippi. Some tornadoes apparently in Mississippi. I haven't seen everybody. I didn't scour the news for it, but everybody says that the damage is horrible, like horrendous. I didn't see it, and I hope for the best for everybody involved. Hope for the best for everybody involved. There apparently the NAACP has said, don't go to Florida. They put out some sort of a travel advisory for Florida. Because they don't like, can I be honest with y'all? Some of y'all are not going to like me after this. Like, y'all going to log right off. Like, I don't like you no more. Well, I'm all right with that. Some of the stuff that Ron DeSantis and the GOP be saying, I be agreeing with. Yes, Janice, I said I be agreeing with. Some of that stuff, is, I'm not against it. Look, I'm not for banning weapons and stuff like that. I don't think drag queens should be reading to kids at the library. I don't think, do I think it hurt anybody? No, not necessarily, but I don't think it should happen. I don't think it should happen. I don't think, and I'm not saying that they do, but I don't think people should be teaching gender identity and stuff to elementary school students or anything like that. Again, I'm not saying that they do, but I don't think that they should. I don't think they should be teaching gender identity to high school students. I don't. Some of the stuff that they say, I agree with. Even though where I don't agree with them is I understand the spirit that it's coming from. Like, it's not coming from the spirit of, I like to think I'm coming, and then of course it's me. So I think I'm coming at it with the right spirit. Like, I don't want to see nothing bad happen to no drag queen. Is that a good term? I'm whispering now, even though I'm the only one in here, but is drag queen the appropriate terminology still? I would guess so, because I know RuPaul do that drag queen show. If they still saying drag, if RuPaul's still saying it, it's got to be all right, right? But I don't, again, I don't think they're going to hurt nobody, but I don't want to see nothing bad happen to them. I don't understand the whole idea. Like, would you take the Chippendale dancers and be like, you know what I'm saying? We ain't got no shirts on and we got on our little collars and bow ties and we're going to read to the kids today. You'd be like, no, why? Why would you do that? Why? It don't even make sense. No. Anthony says, isn't taking your kid to hear a drag queen read your choice as a parent? Those who disagree with it, don't take your kids. Well, sorta yes and sorta no. Sorta yes and sorta no. It all depends. Like, what if the school take a field trip to the library and set up something for the drag queens to read to the kids? I would think no. And in my mind, they might not put that on the permission slip. Like, we're taking a field trip to the library, sign for permission for your child to go. And I'll be done signed it like, yeah, she can go to the library. And they probably not going to be like, we're going to have a drag queen reading of The Little Engine That Could. Why? You could just read it. Just have the teacher read it or something. Schools usually send permission slips home. They don't always give all the details. That's all I'm saying. They don't always give all the details. gonna have a drag queen reading of Green Eggs and Ham. Why? Why? And how they gonna read it? You know what I'm saying? Are they just gonna read it normal? I do not like Green Eggs and Ham. I don't know Green Eggs and Ham. I know everything right. Or are they gonna read it like drag queen style? I do not like Green Eggs and Ham. You know what I'm saying? How are they gonna read it? Why? Why? Why is this a thing? I'm not against drag queens. You wear what you want to wear. I don't care. But why reading to the kids? That just sounds weird to me. So that's what I'm saying. I'm with some of the stuff. That they're, that they believe in. I'm with some of it. But not for the reasons that they're for it. Samuel says, wouldn't that be a slippery slope? If they didn't want black people to read to children, they could be influenced to be allies. That's totally different. But I don't want people in blackface reading to the kids. That you can equate with a drag queen, because you can put that on and then take that off. You know what I'm saying? Like RuPaul. This dude, if you just see him walking down the street and you don't know who RuPaul is and he ain't dressed like a woman, he's just some dude walking down the street. He can put on RuPaul and then take it off. I can't put on black and take it off. It's not the same. It's not the same. I don't know how them drag queens be reading. I don't know. I don't know how they be reading. Oh boy. I don't mean to be offensive. I'm just saying I don't know how they are going to, and why you have to be a drag queen to. It don't make sense to me. What's the purpose of it? To read to the kids. Then don't put on all of that stuff and just read to the kids. Like a man. I'm a man. I love kids. I would go to school and read to the little baby's class if that opportunity was there and someone asked me to do it. I did it for my daughter once, I believe. I went to the class and read a book. And all the kids, because I'll be animated when I be reading. I do the voices of the characters and all that kind of stuff. I give them a voice. And the kids liked it. Why would I come in there with a dress on? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? What's the point? And if you ask me, the point of that is to create a situation where some people would say to create tolerance. You call it creating tolerance. I don't know if it is tolerance, but it's more than tolerance. It's more than tolerance. I remember back in 2000, I got in trouble on the radio, and we were given a list of words that we were not allowed to say. I'm not making that up. It's 100% true. We were given a list of words that we were not allowed to say. And when we were talking about homosexuality and all that kind of stuff. And I remember talking about the gay agenda. There's a gay agenda. There's a reason why they're trying to introduce homosexuality into everything. There's a reason why well, what's the agenda? What do you think they're trying to do? You think they're trying to turn people gay? I think they're trying to make it much more acceptable for people to turn gay. Yes. Don't get me wrong. I don't thoroughly understand homosexuality. I don't thoroughly understand it. Some people say they was born that way. Okay, if you say you was born that way, I accept that you was born that way. Meaning, probably not what they think it means. I accept that when you first became aware of your sexuality, that you were attracted to men. or if you're a woman that you were attracted to women. Because I don't think you're born either way. When I was a little baby, I was just crying, yeah, like a little baby. I wasn't crying like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm manly. This is my manly cry, yeah. And a little gay person wasn't crying like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? It was little babies crying. I didn't have a sexual preference. Ain't no none of that stuff. You're not born that way. You developed that way. What caused you to develop that way? It might have been no natural development. It might have been a little something different. Who am I to know? Who am I to know? But I think you're born asexual. And then you develop whatever that sexuality is. But yeah, no, I was saying back then, I think the reason they're doing all of this, look, the idea that if you are, as a young asexual person, exposed to the idea that homosexuality is acceptable, then yes, that opens you up mentally to explore homosexuality if you choose to. There's no taboo about it. There's no taboo about it. And I think that was the purpose of the gay agenda. Now, you can say whether or not you believe that's good or bad. What do you think, man? They gonna turn you gay? No, they're not gonna turn me gay. Because I've already developed. I already know what I like or what I don't like. So they're not gonna turn me gay. But it opens the door for more homosexuality. Because more people are open to it. Because for the past 23 years, there's been a movement saying, ain't nothing wrong with being gay. Being gay is good. And I can't say necessarily that it's happening more now than it was before. I will say that I am definitely seeing more openly flamboyant, I don't even know if they gay, because I don't follow them home. I assume that they gay, because they're really, 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 really flamboyantly males being effeminate or females being more masculine. And it might be wrong for me, but I automatically assume that person is gay. I was at La Rosa's. And there was a dude, I'm pretty sure it was a dude, behind the counter. But he had on just the regular La Rosa's uniform. But he was kind of pretending to be a chick. Purse and everything. Now you might think, because I've seen dudes carrying purses, but he wasn't carrying a purse like dudes carry purses. Which is weird that you even have to say that. But it wasn't the same. Samuel says, that's ridiculous, man. I know a gay male couple that have a son and he's heterosexual. What did I say that was ridiculous? I didn't say if you are two gay people and you have a son, they're gonna be homosexual. I remember for the most part the stuff that I said, and I'm 100% certain I did not say that. So what did I say to make you say that's ridiculous and then give me that little anecdote? Just if you can help me understand what you're saying. Anthony says, I don't know about that, E. Gay people have from perfectly heterosexual household for years. Again, I don't know when I ever said, as a matter of fact, I know as a matter of fact that I did not say that two heterosexuals or a heterosexual household cannot produce a gay person or that a gay household cannot produce a heterosexual person. Y'all tell me, what did y'all hear to make y'all believe that that's what I was saying? If I know one thing, I know people hear what they want to hear and not necessarily what was said. So I would love to know what it was that you heard to make you believe that that was what I said. And Blade want to know the phone number. It's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. 513-717-KING. 513-717-KING. That's 513-717-5464. That's the number to get on board. Oh, something happened. Okay, there we go. We got Blade. Hold on a second, Blade. Blade!
What's going on, man?
How you doing?
I'm not on your chat, so why you keep calling my name like that?
Oh, okay. Well, my bad.
Because you know I can't see that good in daylight. My sight is good at dark.
That's
hey,
a
man,
weird thing to say.
You right on point. That agenda goes back farther than that. If people want to check it out, just go research it on the internet. They said what they was going to do to America. And you right on point, because I know where you were working the last time, you really couldn't talk about it because they got one too. So, you know what I'm talking about. Your boy, name start with an A. Your boy, his name start with an A. He's like that. You know what I'm saying?
No, who?
But I ain't gonna say no names, man, because you might go back one day. But anyway.
So what? Who are you talking about? I don't even know nobody who names start with an A up there.
Don't worry about it. He signed your check. He used to sign your check. So, But what I'm talking about. But anyway, man, you right on point. And people that don't agree with you, maybe they suspect. And why are we even talking about that? Why do cats want to dress up in dresses with beards and want to go talk to little kids? I mean, I never understood or understand that. Why is that?
And look, I don't understand it either, Blade. Look, if you want to dress up in a dress, that's on you. You do you. Don't bother, as long as you ain't harming nobody, I don't care. But I don't understand combining that with reading the kids. I just don't understand.
Yeah, somebody was talking. My fault. Somebody was talking about that the other day. All the problems that these children got. Why are grown-ups enforcing that? They need to be worrying about the children in school learning how to read, write, and math. I don't understand. What's the problem? But they really get down like that, and most people that's pushing that is liberals. And I do agree with you with our boy down in Florida, because if you listen to his whole speech and sound bites, you'll probably agree with him more, because a lot of stuff, especially Lincoln, they just push them sound bites, to make the liberal cult drink that digital juice. But both sides are cultic, and we fall for it. Your boy, he's standing up for some things, and I'm glad he's standing up for dude with beard and mustache and miniskirts trying to mess with them kids. We got to protect him, but I don't agree him trying to ban them books. But I got to do more research, because I think that might be a sound bite too.
All
but
right.
I don't trust none of them. But what's bad about it? Why are we letting strangers teach us about ourselves in all these books out here? Why people ain't not just buying up books and quit letting strangers? Liberals love sending their children to school to teach strangers teach their kids about Black history when we can do it ourselves. We depend on the government too much, man. Peace out.
All right. That's Blade. Thank you for your call. Arithmetic. Start with an A. Signs your check. No, he did have a hard time with arithmetic. It's a tricky word. I understand. Okay, I think just answering my question about what did they hear, Samuel responded. Samuel says that there is a gay agenda, and if we accept the behavior, we allow children to become more gay inclined. I think that's very true. Just because you're more open to it doesn't mean you're going to turn that way. You're going to develop that way. But I do think it makes you more open to the idea of it. But I never said that it means that you're going to become that. So that still kind of doesn't answer what I said to make you believe that I'm suggesting that if you live in a household with 2 gay men, for example, you're going to be a gay man. I think that was a huge leap. Anthony says, you were saying just being exposed to homosexuality can make you curious. That's not what I said. It's not what I said. It can make you more receptive to the idea. But that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be that. Just because you're more open to the idea doesn't mean you're going to be that. Y'all might have read a little bit too much into what I was saying. You still don't have caller ID. I mean, the numbers come up, names don't come up, but the numbers come up. And then as people call in, I put their names so I'll know who's calling. Let me see. Sign your check, yeah. Why do dudes pretend to be vampires living in Indiana? All while having multiple burner accounts. Him pretending to be a vampire don't bother me. And LaDonna says she was thinking the same. How did y'all come to that conclusion? How did y'all come to that conclusion? I don't understand. Again, I'm not sure that y'all are really paying attention. Let me see. Yes, it is just a coincidence that Blade called in after Booth asked for the number. That's coincidental. It's coincidental. Samuel says, how is that not the same thing? Let me see if I could think of a good example to give you. I really shouldn't have to give an example. Like the words themselves should explain it to you. Just because you're open to accepting something as not being wrong or taboo doesn't mean you're going to gravitate towards it. But it does mean that it'll open you up to consider it. Growing up, this is not the best example, just the one that popped in my head. I grew up in church. And I don't know why I was always under the impression that drinking alcohol was just a bad thing to do. It was just a bad thing to do. Like just bad. And then, I grew a little older and, I had friends that was drinking. And then I came to the conclusion, it's not bad. Like drinking alcohol in and of itself is not necessarily a bad or evil thing. Well, I might have a drink. Because my mindset changed on whether or not it was bad or acceptable. So I considered doing it because it was no longer bad. Now, I made the decision not to do it. But before, when I thought it was bad, I never even considered it. Never even considered it. Once I came to it's not bad. It's not evil. Don't make you a horrible person. I might even have a drink. Nah, I don't want to have a drink. But having drinks is not bad. Do that help? For some of y'all, I need to translate the analogy. The drink is homosexuality. And so if you grow up thinking that it's bad, you're probably not even going to consider it as an option. Even if you start feeling that way, you're going to be like, no, I got to fight this feeling. I got to fight this feeling. No. Because you think it's bad. But if you ain't nothing wrong with it, then you start having that feeling, you might be like, okay, I'm open to exploring this because you don't see anything wrong with it. Now, for some of y'all can't understand how that's different than saying, well, if you around 2 homosexuals, then you're going to become homosexual. It's totally different. I was around drinking, but never considered it because I thought it was just bad. And I was around people who didn't drink. So that being open to something doesn't mean you're automatically going to do it. It just allows you mentally the space to explore it more than you would if you weren't open to it. Do that make a little bit of sense to y'all who couldn't understand? And for those who still don't understand, I don't believe that just because you have two gay parents that's going to make you gay. But I do believe if you have two gay parents who teach you that there's nothing wrong with homosexuality, it'll open you up to, if you begin to experience that or you want to explore, that's an area that you might explore in. I think that only makes logical sense. If you think it's bad, there's a good chance you won't even try it. That's reasonable and logical. And if you don't understand it, I think that's on you. I think that's on you. Angela wants to know, what other platform is this show simultaneously streaming? Right now, I'm only streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. I didn't do Twitch today. But right now, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Normally, I do Twitch. And every once in a while, I do Instagram as well. I haven't done Instagram in a while, but I might go back to that. Janice, maybe Janice, you're a teacher. You're much more you were an educator, I believe. You're much more well-spoken than I am. Maybe Janice can help y'all understand it. Whenever anything becomes a norm, it makes people more accepting of that behavior. And in a lot of cases, easier to possibly participate. But it's not necessarily you're gonna do it. Thank you, Janice. Shahara, I'm hesitant to say that she's articulate because she'd be hating on me. Shahara says, like, if you grow up with interracial parents, one black, one white, and you identify as black, means you're going to marry someone who's white. For example, Barack Obama versus Patrick Mahomes. Samuel says this is all clear as mud. That means he don't understand y'all. He really can't differentiate. He can't understand the difference between, if you are okay with homosexuality, you're going to become homosexual. And if you're okay with homosexuality, then it opens you up to the possibility of considering participating in that activity. Not that you necessarily would. He can't understand that. Like, that's weird to me, Samuel, that you don't understand it. She says, okay, I received zero notice today. I only went live on the exclusive afternoon experiment pages. So I'm not on the personal. I'm not on Emanuel Livingston on Facebook. I'm not on Emanuel Livingston on YouTube. I'm not on Emanuel Livingston on Twitter. I'm only on the afternoon experiment on those platforms. So you have notifications for my personal page and not necessarily for the show's page. That one Twitch viewer is pissed that you're not on today. I feel bad about that too. I didn't think about it until Angela asked, and then I was like, oh, I didn't do Twitch. Boots Boost says he's slow. I don't know that he's slow. I think he has a block, and so he can't accept what I'm saying because he's perceiving it as some sort of a slight, because he has a personal relationship with people, and somehow that clouds your ability to hear what people are saying if you're automatically going in thinking that people are trying to slight somebody. You're looking for the slight. So I think that's what's happening. He's looking for the slight. I bet you he understood the alcohol analogy. If I think alcohol is bad, I won't even try it. But then if I don't think alcohol is bad, once I came to the conclusion that it wasn't bad, I was open to considering trying it. I bet he understands that. And he doesn't think, oh, if you see somebody drinking alcohol, then you gonna be an alcoholic. I bet he didn't believe that. But he has a little bit of a blind spot when it comes to, apparently his friends who are homosexual. I understand that. That was saying I'm articulate with so much shade. I'm sorry. I like picking with you because, you on Lincoln's team. So to me, you are almost an extension of Lincoln Ware. And y'all know how I love to pick with Lincoln Ware. All right, y'all. Let's see. I got to get ready to get out of here. I don't think Wyatt is coming on today because I saw him on earlier today. During the Lincoln Ware show. Wyatt was on. And I was like, what? And he was giving real good information, financial information, all of that kind of stuff. So I don't think he's coming on today. So if you've been told that sugar is bad and then a proclamation that sugar is good, you're now open to a jelly donut? Well, sorta, yeah. If I've been told my whole life the sugar is bad, so I avoided sugar, and then I hear them was lies, sugar ain't really that bad, then I might be like, well, no. Do I want to try a donut? I might try a donut. Don't necessarily mean I will, or that I will become a sugar addict, which, but at least I would be open to trying it. Yes, now you get it. Even though I think you were being a little facetious. But if you understand that, then you get it. I'm more open now to trying the jelly donut. Whereas before, I would not have even tried it, no matter how much I wanted to try it, because I thought it was bad. I wouldn't try it. Or if I did try it, I would sneak and try it. Whereas now, I can just openly walk around with a jelly donut if I so choose. And not feel any kind of way about it. Yes. So, Emanuel, you expect eating a jelly donut in the closet in fear of being judged? Possibly, yes. Yes, possibly. That's why I said, I try to translate this so you'll understand and take the blinder off because of the homosexual thing. Like I said about the homosexuality, once I start developing my sexuality, because I don't believe anybody's born sexual. But once I start developing it, if I begin to, I wonder if boys is, I'm not automatically going to be like, no, boys, girls. I'm going to be like, I might try a boy. You know what I'm saying? If I'm told that ain't nothing wrong with it, it's okay, it's acceptable, it's normal. Yes. But wouldn't that mean you already like jelly donuts? No, I've never had sugar, so I don't know if I like jelly donuts or not. I've never even considered it. My parents just, fed me a strict diet of sugar-free everything. So I've never experienced sugar. Once I start developing and I can go out and get whatever I want. Because again, I'm of the mindset that you're not born wanting anything sexually. So no, it doesn't mean you already like jelly donuts. You haven't considered eating. So once that sexuality kind of kick in, and then you begin exploring your sexuality, finding out what it means. Remember I said a baby is not born wanting to have sex with anybody? That's what I'm talking about. But that stuff start to develop at some point. So you don't like boys or girls. And then you start to have feelings, tingling. And you like, ooh. And if you open to exploring, you could find yourself in a position, yeah. How is this hard to understand? Oh, Miss Pittsburgh said Wyatt is on now. Oh, so I'm all in Wyatt's time. Y'all, I gotta go. Let me get off of here. I hope I explained it well. And everybody can understand. Angela says, as soon as they started changing / assigning pronouns and making it an issue of identifying or classifying, we were in the advanced stages of this nonsense. Yes. Janice says, I was in love with a boy in the 4th grade. It might, for you, it started. I remember liking a little girl in at least the 1st grade. But I don't remember being a baby looking at little baby girls like, ooh, I want to hit that. I didn't have any concept. I really remember being like 3 years old, playing with other little toddlers, not thinking sexually about them. I genuinely do remember that. Angela says, y'all need to coordinate when we can expect a reboot of The King and I. I'm going to call him tomorrow. I know he's busy. He don't have time to call me. I'm going to call him tomorrow. We'll see what happens. I enjoyed going back and forth with Wyatt. I like Wyatt. He's a smart dude. And like I said earlier today, he was giving some good knowledge, some good financial knowledge. All right, y'all. I got to get out of here. I appreciate every single one of y'all for finding me and checking me out today. Tomorrow, I plan on being here. I don't know if I'll be on just the one set or the other set, so we'll see what happens. I kind of play it by ear. And, yeah, that's the way it kind of go down. It's been the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston, in case you didn't know. My title, I don't say it enough, but I feel like people know. I'm the king of talk. I hope something amazing happens to you, something life-changing today. All right? Until next time, I'm out, y'all. Peace.